Nicodemus was finally able to get in touch with Prince Eios after many years. However, it wasn't just to catch up.
I'm glad I was able to reach out to you in time before all this. There's a dire matter that I received from the Eldorian elites.
Is everything okay, Nicodemus? We haven't seen each other in years and now I sense you're on edge about something.
There's no time for that, Your Highness. Your brother, King Apollo, has teamed up with this shady monk who's obviously an occultist. He goes by the name of Rasputin. He knows a lot about you.
This can't be. This is the worst partnership in the history of mankind.
It's not as worse as the frightening rumors Rasputin has spread about you throughout Eldora. Is it true that you're not only working with Lilith, but you're also now her husband and fathering her child?
That's not a rumor, it's the absolute truth. I'm married to the good fragment of Lilith named Leader. Plus, I'm also the father of the next Draconians.
Your Highness, you have no idea of the Pandora's box you've just opened. I was hoping Apollo's claims were mere allegations. Now, you've given his forces a solid motive to invade Drakonisia.
I'm sorry, what?
Apollo and Eldorian forces are going to fight alongside Rasputin in an upcoming invasion against Drakonisia. Their goal is to have you executed for treason, later burnt at the stake, and Drakonisia wiped from the face of Zestria, with all her land, gold and resources ripe for the taking.
That's beyond monstrous. Rasputin has gone too far enlisting my old home as a part of his scheme to destroy everything I've worked for. He won't succeed.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. But I believe he will. The Eldorian army is quite large. In fact, I believe it's the largest army in all of Zestria. Plus, Rasputin is using his magical arts to supply the army with weapons crafted from Fafnirit. It's the only known material for normal people to use in order to slay dragons. This may sound cowardly, but I'm afraid that you must take both you and your family back to the Northern Heights region in order to live somewhat of a safer life from now on. It's the only place where Rasputin won't ever have access.
I'm sorry, but that's a major deal breaker for two reasons. 1. The other half of my family can't do well in the cold. 2. Even if Rasputin can't, my brother and other Eldorian forces will invade that peaceful place and destroy all the work we did there as well. This whole thing is entirely absurd. We've done nothing but try to live in peace, and even that's not enough for people to leave us be. I'll think of something.
But, what exactly?
I don't know, but you've definitely given me a lot to process at such short notice. But, it's great you've told me beforehand. I can now alert Drakonisia in time to prepare ourselves. So, I'm truly grateful, Nicodemus.
Sure, don't mention it. Seriously, if you mention this meeting to anyone from Eldora, I could be executed for this.
Leave it to Rasputin to enact his revenge in the most sinister and cunning way imaginable. First, he convinced the Eldorian king to aid his cause. Now, Rasputin seeks to sway the masses by using the simplest and most effective way imaginable. Telecommunication? Wait, is that correct? Well, I like to see how. This is going to be interesting. especially in this time and age that we're talking about. I would love to see how he's gonna be able to pull that off. Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Rasputin organized a night meeting with Apollo to carry out the next stage in their scheme.
Greetings, my king. I'm very pleased that you showed up on time. I've just discovered an amazing spell to get your people notified on this matter to raise their immediate awareness.
Immediate awareness, you say? That's very important to get the message across. But how at such short notice?
Simple. I've successfully discovered a telecommunication spell to immediately reach everyone in Eldora at the same time. Simply step into this room and everything you say will immediately reach everyone in Eldora.
A room? Which room exactly?
Please, right this way.
My word, what sorcery is this? I've never seen anything like this before in my natural-born life.
Please, remain calm. You have an important message to inform your people, King Apollo. Now, prepare your speech in 3, 2, 1. Start.
Hello, my beloved citizens of Eldora. Tonight I have very important news to share with you all. This here is the grandfather of all propaganda agendas. Rasputin found in Apollo's dark emotions and used them as the perfect catalyst to spread his, or should I say, the Dark Monk's manipulative narrative. To paraphrase, the king branded his father and his old band of heroes deceitful shams for allowing the Queen of Shadows to live and roam free in the world at large. If that wasn't enough, the king also slandered his own brother by saying that the so-called Paragon Prince of Eldora has wedded Lilith, and that their unity will usher in a generation of hell-spawn abominations that will wipe all humanity from the face of the earth. This was the destructive lie that was being plastered all over Eldora. It was detestable, and there was no other way around it. It was just fake news, false information, a hoax, just disinformation, just complete and utter publicized dishonesty. And it was just like, and it was spreading like a wildfire through not just Eldora, but throughout the neighboring countries of Zestria as well. This news certainly caused quite a stir as families were torn apart, saying it was just complete and utter chaos. There's no other way around it. Eldora was never really the same after that shocking revelation. Sides were torn, but ultimately, people went to the streets and rioted, just like the king wanted it. But most specifically, Rasputin planned this from the very beginning. This is exactly what he wanted. It was exactly as he planned. He wanted these monkeys to dance to the beat of his own drum, and he got to play everybody for the sad puppets that they designed them to be all along. It was terrible. Once his propaganda speech was over, Eldora wasted no time taking up arms to follow King Apollo in his raid against Drakonisia. It was time for war.
Whoa, Miss Green. I've heard of propaganda before, but this is ridiculous. This right here is a textbook example of mass brainwashing.
Creepy. To think, there was such a magical power out there in ancient times able to both reach and sway the masses into buying their fake news. That's beyond disturbing. What makes this even more strange is just how easily the Eldorian people were able to take the fake news at face value without a second thought.
That was always their goal, since the beginning. It just goes to show that these people never truly supported the peace treaty, but just followed the commands of the priest king. This also proves another saying, you can lead the ignorant to knowledge, but you can't make them think. Otherwise, you're just casting your pearls before swine. The Eldorians were just looking for the first opportunity they could find in order to break the peace treaty in order to invade Drakonisia. This unfortunately was that opportunity.
Still, I find this quite tragic to see just how corrupt humans truly are. Whenever I hear of stories like this, their propaganda wasn't based on the objective truth or logical statements. It was all emotional rhetoric that fed on people's fear, anger and their sense of betrayal. It's calculated manipulation, plain and simple.
It has to be, Miss Green. Otherwise, it wouldn't be propaganda. It's meant to be a predator that feeds into what the negative emotions the masses were already harboring from within and uses that as fuel for leaders to fulfill their nefarious goals. Any leader who resorts to propaganda to fulfill their goals can't be good.
Mr. Hernandez, please tell me. How will Prince Eios and his Drakonisian people respond to this senseless war?
Well, it says here that Prince Eios took Nicodemus with him back to Drakonisia to help inform their people about the impending war with Eldora. However, this happened.
Welcome back, beloved. Did you have a nice outing with your friend?
I sure did, Serafina. We went out to discuss some very important news. However, before I get to that, I want to know, where is your younger brother, Khaled? He's been gone these past few days. It's like he just flew away one day and he didn't return.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot to mention it.
I'm sorry. Mention what?
Don't worry about Khaled. It's just molting season for young Draconians. This is the season they fly further west to molt in the mountains. The next time you see Khaled, he'll possess a humanoid appearance.
Whoa, Draconians molt. That's incredible. Well, that's a relief. I was afraid he was going to get wrapped up in this little situation of ours.
I'm confused, Eios. What situation are we talking about?
There's no easy way to say this, but Drakonisia is about to have an impending invasion on her hands.
Invasion? I don't understand. Who's trying to invade us? We're a completely remote nation isolated from the human territories. What's their reason for an invasion?
You weren't with us back during that mission trip into the Northern Heights region. There was an enemy we defeated up there. We thought he was gone for good. But now, he's returned and convinced my old country to turn against both me and this nation as an act of vengeance.
Wait? Enemy? Are you talking about Rasputin?
The one and only, I'm afraid. He's back and he's turned my brother and country of Eldora against us. My marriage to you was the perfect narrative they needed to incite a revolution against us, by making you out to be Lilith, our nation's sworn enemy.
I swear. Rasputin is quite the scathing individual. If he wants a fight, then we'll give him one to remember.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, leader. But, please, our children are most important. We have to alert the other tribesmen to work together to fend off enemy forces.
Don't worry. Leave that part to me. I know just the way to get the tribesmen to work with us in this battle. We'll send them all packing, once we're done.
Well, you're certainly confident about this. That's reassuring.
Regardless, they were ready to fight back. They were tired of the greedy human beings taking everything from them. And now a revolution was about to begin. Inspired by Serafina's massive motivational speech, Nicodemus immediately hands Prince Eios the book that he neglected a while back. It was called the Untitled Ambition. Now was about a good time as any for him to activate that power and use it.